Hey folks, Mobile Geezer out here with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus and the Google Pixel 7. I'm going to do a little camera comparison between the two. And I know generally Pixel have not been as good on video and Samsung has become very excellent. But I figure, okay, we've got an older phone with the Samsung, the newer low-end phone with the Pixel, and I'm thinking the Pixel has improved on video quality, so I guess we'll get an idea of how much they've improved. So both cameras will shoot 30 and 60 at 1080p, 30 and 60 frames per second at 1080p, and both front and back cameras. So this is the front-facing cameras at 1080p, 30 frames per second. So we're just going to try these at 60 frames per second. And at the end, we'll try them at 4K, 30 and 60. So let's go try 1080p, 60 frames per second. Okay, here we are at 1080p 60 frames per second on both front cameras. Can't really tell out here how much different it is, maybe once I put it on the computer. So you guys let me know how everything looks and sounds, whether there's much difference or very little. And now I'm going to turn these around and we're going to do the rear cameras at 1080p 30 as always.
Let's do this!
Okay, here we are on the rear cameras, 1080p 30 frames per second on both. So let's try a little zooming in, and in the sun, let's see if I can see how much I'm zooming. Okay, there's 7 times zoom on the Pixel 7. That's appropriate, isn't it? Alright, zooming in on the Galaxy S22 Plus, and there's 7 times zoom on that. So let's zoom back out. That's not what I wanted. Trying to pull back here. Okay, there we go. Alright, now I'm going to try a little 1080p 60 frames per second. So here we are at 1080p 60 frames per second on both cameras. And the S22 Plus has a much wider field of view as far as I can tell. So let's try a little zooming in. And there's 7 times on the Pixel 7. And there's 7 times on the S22 Plus. Zoom back out. And we're going to take these for a little walk. And we'll check the stability a little bit. And we'll go over it and test our focusing. Still 1080p 60 frames per second. focus. Near as I can tell, the S22 Plus is focusing a bit faster. Well, maybe not. Now, that time it looked like the 7 focused faster. And that time the S22 did. Interesting. Okay, let's take it over by the brook. Okay, here we are by our brook. Very calm. Luckily, it's not too windy today. I guess I caught that right. And a very sunny day. It's pretty cold though, 41 degrees at the moment. Alright, so I'm going to shut this down and we're going to try some 4K. So here we are shooting at 4K, 30 frames per second. I'm going to take it for a little walk up the path. Let this bike rider go by. And let's run up the path a little bit. See how stable that looks to you guys. And here we are by the creek. Pan around as we usually do, and we'll try some zooming in. Once again, 7x zoom on the Pixel 7. And a 7x zoom on the Galaxy S22 Plus. Zoom back out. And now we're going to try a little 4K 60 frames per second. Okay, here we are shooting at 4K 60 frames per second. So I'm going to take it for a walk and go over by the pond and see if we can see what the ducks are doing. And we've got some of the ducks just hanging out. Maybe, I guess they're getting out of the wind a little bit. I'm not sure. It's pretty cold out here. So let's zoom in on them. If you say so. Sometimes zoom again. And 7x on both. Zoom back out. And let's just move down over here a little bit and shoot across the whole pond. And we'll zoom in on the other side. Sometimes zoom once again on the Pixel. 7x zoom on the S22 Plus. So now I'm going to take a few pictures and then we'll end up back on the front cameras, and that'll be it for today. Okay, back on the front-facing cameras, this time shooting in 4K 30 frames per second. So very hard for me to tell in the sunlight how we're really doing here. So you guys let me know what you think. So now I'm going to try 4K 60 and then we'll be done. Okay, now we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second on the front-facing cameras. I think the wind has increased a little bit, so I hope you can hear me okay. Apologize if you can't. So that's going to be it for today. We did front cameras, rear cameras, 1080p, 4K, and of course the S22 will shoot at 8K, but the Pixel 7 won't, so we won't go there. So as always, comments are welcome. Thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, we all do better when we love each other.